Hi, class. This week, in response to our post question, I chose the story The Hobbit. We have a 21-year-old son that we went through this story together when he was 6 or 7 years old, and now we have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. We're going through the story again, and it's just such a classic example, I think, of how stories should unfold and how they are popularly unfold. I mean, it's one of the best selling books of all time. So I thought it was a great example. J.R.R. Tolkien is the writer of this story, and in the inciting action part of this story, Bilbo Baggins is a hobbit, and he lives a comfortable life. He has ties to two different kinds of families, one family that is more adventurous and another family that's more homebodies, and he's visited by a wizard, Gandalf, that tries to implore him into being part of this adventure with a group of individuals that's going to go and try to take back what was stolen from them, their heritage, their what their ancestors were to pass down to them, but it was stolen by a dragon. This, as like we learned about in the video, even just this first scene has a really great arc with inciting action, journey, discovery, crisis, and confrontation. Bilbo has to decide whether he is going to stay at home and live a comfortable life, or whether he's going to go on this adventure with these 13 dwarves. And he does. He in the end, he does eventually decide that he's gonna follow that adventurous part of his heritage, and he goes off on this journey. So that leads us to the journey part. The journey actually is broken into so many chapters. I think it's like a 20-chapter book, and each chapter has a whole nother plot line, a whole nother story involved in it. But and I can't go into all that in just 3 minutes. But he goes through journeys of all these different challenges, and he learns. And the discovery part is he learns along the way that he was originally hired to be a burglar, and he doesn't think that he has the necessary skills to be a great part of the team, and neither does any of their dwarves. But the wizard that encouraged him to join and to begin with, he always sees that potential in him. And the discovery is that he slowly but surely figures out that he does have those skills, and he does have that within him to be an important part of the group. The crisis comes when he realizes that he's going to have to be the one to sneak into the mountain where they're going to try to reclaim that treasure that was rightfully theirs, and which he does so, failing over and over and over again, but eventually he figures out how to. Sorry about that plane. He eventually figures out how to get to. He gets to work through the problems that he has in being the valuable part of that team, and then he finally has the confrontation. The interesting thing about the confrontation is it's kind of this battle of wits between the dragon and the Hobbit. So between Smaug, which is the name of the dragon, and then Bilbo, who is the Hobbit. They have this battle of wits, and nothing gets resolved between the two of them. But the dragon gets so upset that he decides he's going to punish not just the 13 that are trying to take back what's rightfully theirs. He's going to go to this neighboring town and punish these men that live in this whole community of people that have nothing to do with that, which obviously that's a whole other plot line in itself, and other characters that get intertwined in the story that way. But there is that confrontation, and in the end, sorry, I'm going to tell you the ending here if you haven't read the book. I apologize, but it's about 60 years old, so hopefully you kind of know about it. The dragon is killed, and this whole other conflict arises right after that, because they get what they have sought out to get, but they're not able to share those things that they come into all that wealth, and then they have this whole other story of greed that comes from that, and then there's another war. You think the story's over, and then this whole other story opens up and envelops after that. So that's the story I chose. It's really great read, and it has all the parts of the 5 parts of a story. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great week.